Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gaming with a Dad. I'm the dad, Steve.
Who?
This is Zach, the gamer.
You use that controller, Steve.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Okay. What are we going? What do we got next up here?
Let's talk about the one that I'm going to have very little positive things to say about.
Oh boy.
There are rumors of a 200 player battle royale in Modern Warfare.
Okay.
So me and let's put this out there a little bit. Me and Reggie agreed on this. We went back and forth on Twitter a little bit earlier about what really we want from this. So on Reggie Deserto, which is a Call of Duty news organization, tweeted out breaking 200 player battle royale mode leaked for Warfare. Maps, perks, and kill streaks also leaked, right? So when a game goes onto the PC community takes it upon themselves to snoop through the files and see what's coming next for everybody, because the code is there and you can't really do that on a PlayStation or an Xbox. This is what was leaked, was that there was a potential 200 player battle royale, right? With a map. I even have a picture of a map here. I have a picture of player count, what the playlists are going to be, and everything above. So like, and even including down to the zones of what the names of the places on the map are going to be, right? This is pretty detailed, and Deserto doesn't leak things unless they think going to be an actual thing. So what we exchanged back and forth on Twitter earlier was the fact that we would rather them just fix the game before they add an entire additional game into it, right? What a battle royale mode is going to be an entire separate game into this game. That's what it's going to be. But there is no, the game isn't good as it stands. It's not a great game as we sit. So why are we working on a additional game to put into the game when the game isn't okay with your community, with your pro players, with your average player as it sits currently?
That's a good point. I can't argue it, but I gotta ask. So you obviously first step, fix the game, handle the things, handle the complaints that people have, things like the shoddy, things I've heard complained about multiple times, and then. If they handled that stuff, would you be into a battle royale version of COD?
We had one last year.
Okay.
We had Blackout last year. We played it for the first week that it was out, and then kind of didn't touch it again. But last year's multiplayer I thought was so good that I didn't need to play the battle royale. Some people only played the battle royale. So last year's battle royale was good. It was really fast paced. There was a skill gap. Everything that I want in a game was there, but I thought the multiplayer was just so much better than I just stuck with the multiplayer. Would I be interested in this game? No. The game is too slow. The style of game is too slow. The play of pace is too slow. And your characters are slower. Everything is slower. No, I would probably not be interested in it. It's interesting that they're doing it 200 players, right?
Yeah, what's that all about?
They're just more players, right? It's the only way they could differentiate themselves from a Fortnite, from a PUBG, from whatever other battle royales out right now. The only way they could differentiate themselves. So why not do it? Although PlanetSide Arena just did it, and I think they might have even done up to 1,000. So I would rather them just fix the game, dude. I would rather them just fix the game.
Oof. Man, I don't have a dog in this fight at all.
You purchased the game.
I purchased the game.
You do have a dog in the fight then.
No. But let's be completely candid, right? The game as it is for a novice like me, the only problem I have is staying alive for longer than 10 seconds at a time. I'm trying to learn how to maneuver around the game. Let me ask you this question, right? Because I was listening to a few more reports on it. Would one of the things you want them to fix be that they should shrink the maps, like make the maps smaller?
No, add more players.
Add more players. Okay.
Yes, because the way you shrink a map without changing the maps is add more players. So there's more points of engagement and there's more chance of seeing someone. So the thing with Call of Duty is that Call of Duty's been notorious for is an arcade shooter. Spawn, you run, and within 3 seconds, you're within another engagement. Whether you win it or not is up to you. This game mode, in this game, there has been times where I spawn and die instantly, like literally spawn, pull my dead, right? Because someone is looking at me while I spawn, which can happen in older CODs, but spawns don't flip in this game. So then if that happens, you're pretty much stuck there for the next 45 seconds. Or I run for 3 minutes and don't see anybody. It takes the entire Call of Duty feel out of it in that aspect, I think. So I just, for me, I don't want the maps to be shrunk. If you add more players, instead of 6v6, make everything 10 on 10, and then have some game modes 15 on 15 for the bigger maps. Naya Palace comes to mind. Grazon Raid comes to mind. There's a few maps that definitely come to mind. Caves comes to mind. If you had 15 players on it, it might be 15 on 15. It might be a little more enjoyable. They're bigger maps, so put more players if you really wanted to make the map feel smaller. Right. The most important thing about a Call of Duty is the feel of the game. That's really the most important thing, because if it feels smooth and fluid and like you can influence a game and you could play, then that's a good game. But if the feel of the game is slow and clunky and worrisome, then it just turns everyone off of it.
Okay. Let me ask you another quick question on this, because you're my official source on this and a few other people I listen to that I trust. Call of Duty, COD, Modern Warfare, on its way to being a dead game, or what? In your estimation, where
it's
did they
been
stand?
on that decline for a long time. I've seen more hate on this game than I have in a long time. At least this early on. Have I explained to you what the Call of Duty cycle is?
Let's pretend you haven't. Go for it.
Sure. Game gets announced. Everyone builds up hype for game. Game releases. People enjoy Call of Duty for a time, right? COD 4, it was 2 years. Modern Warfare 2, it was a year. And then it shrinks every single year. That time that people enjoy this game shrinks, right? So now here we are. The game came out. Within the first week, people are already like, okay, I'm done with it. We'll come back next year. Or don't like the game. Not a good game. Whatever, right? Last year, it took until about January for a lot of people to have these same feelings, which was, 2.5 months since after the game came out? This year, it was a week. We've hit the point of Call of Duty might not be worth a buy next year. Every year up to this point, for me, Call of Duty was absolutely worth the $100, $140, whatever it was, I was going to spend on the game. I paid $100 for it this year, which included COD points, right? Which is further microtransactions that they always have in every COD since like Black Ops 2 that quote unquote aren't going to be in the game. So I paid an extra $40 for the game to get 3,000 COD points to have that stuff early so I could be prepared for buying skins or buying whatever. Apparently it's not going to happen. So I have 3,000 COD points in the game that I can't use. Okay, whatever. I messed up with $40. It's not that big of a... I haven't even gotten 2 days worth of game time out of it. By this point last year, I think I was 2 prestiges in, at least. I might have been on my almost to my 3rd prestige, right? Should I explain prestiges for the maybe uninitiated?
Yeah, I remember you talking about this when you were going through it, but go ahead. Give it to me.
So this game, the level cap is 55. In past years, this year doesn't have this, which is weird to me. You would hit 55, level to where it would be 56, right? I'm using that air quotes to finish that level, and then you would restart from 1, but with an additional perk, right? Usually that perk is having an additional create a class and the ability to permanently unlock a weapon or a perk or a kill streak or something. You could permanently unlock something. Say the MP7 unlocks at 52. You permanently unlock that. Now, when you unlock create a class at level 4 or 5, you have that automatically just there for you to use because you spent your prestige token on that. So this year doesn't have that. This year doesn't have prestiges. I had put probably 50 hours worth of game time into the game by this point last year. We're 3 weeks from launch. I've put maybe 26, which is it's about half. I would probably say even less than half total, but it's not going to be much more. I played today, played for all of, man, I don't even know how long, 3 games, and was just like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm not having fun. It's just a pure and utter disappointment. So on top of that, it doesn't make sense for them to have added a battle royale to a game, or potentially adding a battle royale to a game that me as a hardcore, that I will love Call of Duty no matter what, but doesn't even want to play your game. It's like Marvel releases a movie, right? You're a hardcore Marvel fan, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
You go and see it, and you're like, wow, that just turned me off of every Marvel movie after this.
Yeah. And then they keep continuing to follow that path, releasing
Right.
movies
Year
of that
after
caliber.
year after year after year. Yeah. So, I don't have anything positive to say about it. I'm not excited. I don't care. Please fix the game before we do any of it. I don't think it's a good idea. Because what this is going to do, right? This is how I see it. You release a game mode for a game that people don't like, and it's almost like a spite release. It's like, oh, here's a game mode that you guys will like in a game that you don't. Oh, and also spend some money on it. Let's just take some money from our players who don't enjoy playing the game, because we give them a game mode or a game genre, because Battle Royale is its own genre at this point, that they will like. It's utterly it's purely a cash grab
For a dying franchise. Makes sense if they're like, well, they'll release another one next year. I don't ever see them not releasing it. At some point, it's just people will eventually become so disinterested in it, they just won't buy it anymore. And I've seen that in the zeitgeist for this release. I was just doing a lot of research on it. And, there was some reluctant happiness that a new game was coming out, but basically the same thing you were saying. I will not continue with this unless they have done something different. And it sounds like so far you are part of the majority saying they need to fix a great deal of issues. And yeah, what do you think takes its place? What can possibly take its place in the market?
Nothing. The market's shifting towards different style of games. I think you see an entire shift rather than a shooter that takes the place of Call of Duty. No one makes games like COD do. No one.
You're wrong there. Clearly, Death Stranding is going to take its place.
It's not the same genre.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter. You're an American. You don't know what's good for you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep.
Man, it's funny because another content creator went back to go play Apex after playing COD, pretty much consistently for the past. How long has it been out now?
Few weeks.
And he went back, played Apex, said that was boring, went back to COD, and it was almost like I have no choice but to play this.
Yep.
Because I have nothing. I have nothing else.
As far as shooters goes, that's how I feel too. So,
no.
Let's move away from Call of Duty.